Hey everybody, it's Miss Laura here at the Jefferson County Library, and it's December. Do you know what? During December, it's usually kind of cold outside and you don't want to spend a whole lot of time outside unless it's snowing. Then, of course, you want to go outside and play until you get cold, and then you want to come back inside. Well, do you know, I like to read a book by the fire with a cup of hot cocoa or maybe some hot apple cider. Well, let me give you some ideas for our December reads of what's good to read around the fireplace. The first book I want to tell you about is our junior graphic novel, Little Lulu. Little Lulu by Marge Buell has been around for decades. But you know what? She's so quirky and so mischievous and does so many funny things. You can't go wrong with reading Little Lulu, Letters to Santa, and all the mischief she gets into, especially with the first story where her little brother collects snowflake by snowflake by snowflake to make a snowball. And he only gets to throw it at her if he'll sit and listen to a story she has to tell. So you'll have to read to find out if he gets to throw a snowball at her. The next books I want to tell you about is by Matt Haig. Matt Haig has written a story about Santa. So basically, it's the history of Santa and his life and other people he comes in contact with. It's called A Boy Called Christmas. That's book number 1. Book number 2 is The Girl Who Saved Christmas. And then the last book is Father Christmas and Me. In the story, A Boy Called Christmas, there's a young boy by the name of Nicholas. And of course, we know he's going to grow up to be Father Christmas. So as a young child, you learned in Matt Haig's story that Nicholas has a really hard life. In fact, all he grows up with are 2 toys his mom gave him. They're so poor that he sets a goal that if he ever had enough money, he would get everyone toys. Well, to get through his journey to becoming Santa Claus, he has to go through some huge adventures dealing with trolls and with elves and tons of stuff. And so the book is really exciting, and so I challenge you to read the whole series, A Boy Called Christmas, The Girl Who Saved Christmas, and Father Christmas and Me by Matt Haig. All right, this next one is part of our junior bridging fiction, and it's one of my favorite Christmas books of all time. In fact, I pretty much read it every Christmas. It came out back when I was a little kid, but it is such a good story, you can't miss it. It's called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson. This story takes place in a little town, not too different than our own, where the local kids are getting together to put on a Christmas pageant. It's the same pageant they put on every single year. And the same kids always get cast in the same characters every single year. Well, our main character is just fine with being in the angel choir, but this year, her brother unknowingly invites a bunch of rowdy kids to join in the Christmas pageant. Well, the adventures these kids go on is quite hysterical, and some pretty terrible things happen along the way in trying to make the best Christmas pageant ever. But you'll have to read the book to find out if they can salvage the best Christmas pageant and it becomes literally the best Christmas pageant ever. All right, the last thing is, and I hesitate to say this because it's making me hungry, during the holidays, I love to cook. I love to cook so much, and so when it's cold outside, I like to go inside and cook. And so the next book I have to tell you about is called The Big Fun Kids Cookbook. It has so many ideas you can make for snacks, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for dessert, or just because. It is filled with some delicious ideas. In fact, in it had a recipe I have never thought of making. Kind of like your French fries, you make fried spaghetti and an Italian hamburger. Whoa, that's crazy. Anyway, definitely check out the Big Fun Kids Cookbook by Food Network. All right, I hope I've given you guys some good ideas to read over the winter month, and especially leading up to Christmas. I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.